Morning, gang. Just a quick foreword from Editing Alec as I am working on this week's vlog. We had such a great feedback from last week's vlog, and it being recently my birthday, several of you have been getting in contact and asking how you can support Duke and myself as we kind of travel the world, making it up as we go. And so, by popular request, I am now setting up a Patreon for the channel. It's very exciting. So there are going to be options. The link is going to be in the description for you. There's going to be various ways and methods that you are going to be able to support if you wish to, and lots of ideas that we're having to do with what we can give back and how we can just say thank you to those people who are supporting the travels. Yeah, it's all a bit nerve-wracking and a bit exciting to set up. So thank you very much, you crazy people, for all your love, kind word, watching my videos, subscribing, and generally buying in and helping us out in this adventures. I never thought my silly little vlog would grow at all. Now, it's not a massive channel, and don't really expect it to be a massive channel ever regularly, but even the fact that we're over a couple of hundred subscribers now is kind of mind-blowing at this stage, because it's just kind of me and the dog wandering around. I'm rambling. Enough of this. Let's get on with the video, shall we? Hi gang, my name is Alec, and this is Duke. Together, in our van Ragamuffin, we are setting out to travel the world and discover all the beautiful, nerdy, or weird places we can find. You can support the channel over on Patreon, or for free by clicking the like and subscribing to our adventures. Either way, thanks for watching. Now sit back and enjoy the episode. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new episode. I haven't even finished editing the last episode yet because the schedule has been absolutely crazy. We were down near Wales somewhere in Stratford-upon-Avon, or near there anyway. And now, for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, we're in York, which is beautiful. And more importantly, we're not alone. We picked up a hitchhiker. Yes. While we were down south. And now there's a bit of an adventure unfolding, which we're going to bring you guys along for. So, before we move on, and move on we shall, we are going to have a little walking tour of York. Turns out China is full of fun facts, so we're going to see what we can learn as we go around the city. Let's take a look.
So this behind me is the Merchant Adventurers Hall, which is a medieval guild hall. So back in the day when all the crafters, blacksmiths, butchers, any kind of craftsman was usually part of a guild to keep prices down and for all the sort of official city stuff. You can go inside and view what the big grand hall looks like, and where they still have meetings with certain posh people. But we're not going to do that because we have things to see. So there's always, when it's open, queues going way out the door. But you're supposed to go around the shop and choose a ghost that jumps out at you.
Oh, really?
And then you get a little photo of your ghost in the air. shortest street in Britain with the longest name.
And how do you pronounce that mess?
Whitmer-Whatmergate.
Nice. So, how short is this short street?
There to there.
So literally, there to there?
Yep.
Look at that, shortest street in Britain, longest name, and it's, of all things, Whitmer-Whatmergate. Now, what was it you told me about your thing? What did you used to call this when you did?
Yeah, when we throw a swing dance festival here every year, we call it the Whitmer-Whatmer Hop.
The Whitmer-Whatmer Hop.
Last night there was a leak in the van, so while Alec fixes the roof, I'm going to take you guys on a whistle-stop tour of York. York is so full of history, from tumble-down Tudor houses to hideous 1960s brutalism. York wasn't always York. When it was founded by the Romans, it was Iberacum, which became the Anglo-Saxon Ophorvik, which eventually, when the Vikings got here, became Jorvik, and finally settled on the modern English York. This is Ouse Bridge, which at some point in the 12th century, it collapsed under the weight of hundreds of people coming to see a bishop come back into town. Due to some kind of miracle, no one actually died, but the wooden bridge collapsed into the water and then was rebuilt in stone. It may look like a simple pizzeria, but in the basement there is a jazzy little speakeasy called the Hi-Ho Club that hosts burlesque nights and all sorts of interesting things. This is the most adorable little LGBT bookshop and cafe right next door to a Viking-themed pub. Is meant to be so haunted that there are no end of ghost tours and spooky folk tales to tell. However, we're not going on any of the ghost tours because I think Alec might be a little too scared. Of ghost tours and spooky folk tales to tell. However, we're not going on any of the ghost tours because I think Alec might be a little too scared.
A little too scared?
Well, yeah. This is the Minster. It was built between 1230 and 1472, but it's been there in some form or another since the 7th century. This is Stonegate. You might notice that a lot of the streets in York have the suffix gate, and this has nothing to do with the city walls and gates and things like that. It's because it's part from the Old English word for road, which was gate. The cobblestoned Micklegate, which is Anglo-Saxon for much road, is home to the Artful Dodger, which I've spent an ungodly amount of time in due to the fact that it plays metal. This is the House of Trembling Madness, the coolest medieval alehouse that serves the most amazing beer, cider, mead, anything you want. Much like Alec, York loves Christmas. This isn't even the only Christmas shop in York that's open all year round with Christmas decorations. This one sells all sorts of interesting German wooden decorations and cuckoo clocks and really cool sort of mechanical Christmas trees. Quick stop in the old Primani for some swim shorts just in case we find some lakes and rivers for wild swimming. While skinny dipping is very much my preference, sometimes it's not quite possible. Fruity shorts for a fruity man. There is always time for an iced coffee. And that isn't even everything. You've got Clifford's Tower, you've got the York Dungeon, you've got an entire Victorian street built into the Castle Museum. You've got, not to mention, over 300 little pubs, a lot of them medieval or, you know, ancient. There's so much here. But I've lived here 3 years. It's boring to me. We're off on an adventure. So it's time to get back to the van.
So that's York. I must admit, I was really charmed by York. Loads of little shops selling cool little nerdy things like leather gloves and cards and lots of Harry Potter stuff and like Harry Potter themed streets and students wandering around. The place had a bit of life to it, and I really love it. I'm not normally a big city kind of boy, but I did like York. Now though, we hit the road again, and we are wandering kind of vaguely northwest. We have some work in around the Preston area that we're going to do, and then it is sprinting for some Lake District. I've never been to the Lake District, nor I believe it's Lucian.
Nope, never been.
So it's going to be amazing. And to be honest with you, I had forgotten, as we drive north, I had forgotten how beautiful this part of the country is. We got some new toys. We got some new toys. So let's have a play. Cool.
We have made it to the beach. And oh, bloopers. Wow, I'm so glad that was on camera. The world can see my clumsiness. Okay. We have made sorry. We have made it to the beach. And this is a very special place for the furriest member of our party because
this was the first beach we came to the very day I picked him up. So if some of you may remember, because it wasn't that long ago, the video of Duke jumping in and out of the water, that was here. I didn't think I'd be back so soon, but luckily that's the way the road has come. Let's take a look.
as you may have noticed, Alec has a new toy and a drone.
Check complete.
Take off. The home pass has been updated. Please press it on the mouse.
Are you excited?
This is so fucking cool.
We've given the van a name. And I'm going to paint it on.
Right, now that she has finished painting Ragamuffin, the newly christened van, onto the side, we were going to call it, the plan was to call it Bilbo, but I think Ragamuffin kind of suits it a little bit better, inspired by a song. So, enough of that. One thing that has become apparent since old Luciana's joined me in the van is the need for more storage space. Haven't it? Things have become a little hectic and a little bit too jigsaw puzzly for easy life. So I have some leftover wood not much, but some. And I'm going to see if I can hammer it out and make an extension to the cupboard, so we've got somewhere to put some more clothes, and hopefully make things a little bit easier to move around in the van. Let's see how we go.
Cutting the power lines, we're done talking about it. A spark turns into fire, and we're not sorry about it. If you're not sleeping tight, you know we're onto something. You hear the streets are crying, ocean turns into fighting. Take it to the streets, hit, control of the wheel. Take it to the streets. Hit, control of the wheel. Warning's been spread wide. You can't do none to stop it. Posing is bona fides, but you're only causing.
Oh, and finally, it's done. The new cupboard edition, already stuffed with Luciana's belongings. Belongings. You get the picture. Wolf head moved. All is well. And the van is looking much better for it now that there's space for things and everything in its space. We have also added a pull-out section of the bed, just kind of roughly made with pallet wood, but it works really well. Now I've taken the cut-offs from the mattress, because this was a full double mattress here, and I cut it out to make the L piece. So I've taken the cut-offs and made some back cushions that kind of slot down nicely into the bed, and yeah, does the trick. Nice and easy to pack away, nice and easy to get out, no worries. And that, ladies and gentlemen,
Is what the van looks like after we've tidied it.
is what the van looked like after we tidied it, but more importantly is the end of the episode. We are already balls deep in filming the next episode, and really excited to see what we get up to in the Lake District. So, hey guys, if you've watched to the very, very end of the video, you are my absolute favourite. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all your support. Don't forget there's new links in the bottom if you wish to support via Patreon, but failing that, just hitting like, simply subscribing helps out the channel enormously. With that, unless there's anything else, we'll see you guys next week.
A little LGBT bookshop and cafe right next to a vacuum. It was built between 1230 and 1472, but it's been there in some form on it. This is Stonegate. You might notice that a lot of the streets in York are